Marseille attracts visitors looking for a genuine tourism experience thanks to its busy harbor and dynamic urban energy. This vibrant cosmopolitan metropolis is France's oldest and second largest city after Paris. From its red tile-roofed residences to the fishing boats in its harbor, the city's a distinct Mediterranean vibe. Visitors to Marseille are never far from the tranquil blue waves, whether strolling down a picturesque ancient neighborhood with a view or experiencing the cool sea wind. Marseille is also an interesting destination to visit because of its colorful, multi-ethnic heritage. Marseille, known as the bridge between Europe and North Africa, is home to a substantial Algerian immigrant population. Traditional Arab souks are as easy to come by as a typical French bouillabaisse. With this guide of the finest things to do in Marseille, you can learn more about the major attractions and how to spend your time there. Number 1. Klonq National Park. Imagine jagged limestone cliffs plunging into secluded gravel beaches, lapped by the Mediterranean Sea's azure waves, and you'll get a sense of the Klonq National Park. Although many visitors come to see the park from the sea, others believe the hiking is equally as magical. Recent visitors have remarked that photographs do not do the Klonq National Park justice, describing its cliffs, inlets, and beaches as amazing. Tourists have recounted witnessing residents on quiet beaches, rock climbing, and rappelling, and trekking. Although travelers with limited time may have to settle for a boat tour, swimming, kayaking, rock climbing, and hiking are just a few of the activities available at Klonq National Park for outdoor enthusiasts. Visitors may enjoy the clean environment and stunning coastal views thanks to an excellent trail system. 2. Nokudam-de-la-Garde. This magnificent church, perched on a stunning hilltop, is Marseille's most prominent landmark. The hilltop was utilized as an observation point in ancient times, and a pilgrimage church was built there during the Middle Ages, with a large gilded Madonna capping the belfry. Nokudam-de-la-Garde is now a light for the faithful. The church, which was built between 1853 and 1864, has an extravagant neo-Byzantine interior with light and dark marble arches supporting golden mosaic cupolas. The opulent design offers a spellbinding effect. Visitors can spend time on the beautiful terrace after touring the interior. The perspective stretches from the red rooftops of Marseille's buildings and the historic harbor all the way to the Freewill Islands in the Mediterranean Sea, providing a breathtaking view. The trek to the top was described by some tourists as difficult, but the sights were well worth it. Although visitors agree that the church is lovely, they were more taken aback by the panoramic vistas. Several reviewers, however, warned of large crowds and possible pickpockets. 3. Old Port. Marseille's birthplace is represented by the Old Port. Around 600 BC, this is where the city began as a Greek harbor. The Old Port is located in the west of Marseille and is surrounded by calm blue waters. A walk around this busy waterfront immerses tourists in the sights and sounds of a bustling Mediterranean port. The waterfront is a popular tourist destination, and many consider it to be one of the best places to eat authentically local cuisine in Marseille. Bouillabaisse, the savory fish stew, that is the city's hallmark dish, is a specialty of seafood eateries. Every morning, on the east side of the harbor, the place hosts a fish market. The Old Port, which was formerly a major commercial port, is now mostly used by fishing boats and recreational ships. The Old Port is also the launching location for the boats that sail to some famous tourist sites. 4. Cognes Kennedy. The Cognes Kennedy is a long, maintained promenade that runs parallel to the sea. It begins at Catalan's Beach, passing via Pofet Beach and the Off Valley, and ends to Prado Beach. Marseille people who come to cycling, scooter, or run go to Cognes Kennedy. You may enjoy stunning views of the islands and the Château d'If by walking along the Cognes. You can also take a walk up to Valmer Park to take in the view. You can drive it, but walking it is just as rewarding for the sea air and spectacular views of the Freewill Archipelago and the Château d'If's towers in the harbor. The Val des Offs, a historic fishing harbor, on a steep inlet bordered with dilapidated ancient houses and access from the sea beneath the arches that support the road, is one of the most remarkable sights. 5. Boulevard Longchamp. The elegant Boulevard Longchamp, with its affluent 19th century buildings and twin row of plane trees, is one of Marseille's most enlightening walks. The easiest way to see it is to walk up from Lycanibiac station towards Palace Longchamp, where you'll see the crescent-shaped colonnade and fountain of this spectacular 19th century structure. The Palace Longchamp, as well as the park and attractions surrounding it, were erected to commemorate the completion of the Canal du Marcel, which connected the Jougons River and relieved the city's centuries-long water shortage. The Fine Arts Museum is an unmissable destination to visit in Marseille, where you can see art from the 16th to the 19th centuries. It is housed within the Palace Longchamp and houses a priceless collection of Italian and Provençal paintings and sculptures. The Natural History Museum, which is also located here, is a must-see. 6. The Cathedral de la Major, located at the northwest corner of Old Town, sits majestically on an esplanade overlooking the waterfront. With its soaring twin towers and 70-meter-high dome, this beautiful Neo-Byzantine cathedral appears to keep watch over the Old Port. In 1852, Louis Napoleon Bonaparte ordered the construction of this cathedral. The Cathedral de la Major, completed in 1893, is France's largest church and the only cathedral built during the 19th century. Its size, 142 meters long by 20 meters high, is comparable to that of Rome's St. Peter's Basilica. Carrara marble and magnificent Venetian mosaics are used throughout the sumptuous decor. A large number of statues can also be found throughout the sanctuary. A plaza known as Les Vouts is at the foot of the cathedral and is a popular gathering spot with shops, restaurants, and cafes. Locals and visitors alike enjoy wandering through this vibrant neighborhood. Les Vouts not only is a fashionable vibe, but it also has stunning views of the sea. 7. Lycanibiac, the main commercial artery of the city's historic core. Lycanibiac is a great boulevard in the manner that the French excel in. It was first inaugurated in 1666 as the Champs-Élysées of Marseille, but it reached its pinnacle in the 18th century when it was a kilometer-long length of pomp and circumstance. Here, wealthy merchants erected ornate townhouses, which were intermingled with opulent hotels. While these outward displays of affluence served as edifices to their business skill, the street's name was inspired by the lowly rope makers who once worked here. The ornate facades that have survived are now stores and restaurants. A stroll along Marseille's Les sidewalks is a must-do activity. You will witness examples of graceful decline side by side with examples of attractive forward-looking renewal. 8. Fort Saint-Jean, built in 1660 by Louis XIV, is a well-preserved stronghold commanding Marseille's Old Port entrance. Surprisingly, it was constructed to quell a local uprising rather than to keep invaders at bay. It was afterwards utilized by the French military in the 19th and 20th century until it was overrun by German armed forces during World War II. Rather than preparing for conflict, the famous fort is now a tourist attraction where visitors can stretch their legs and rest. The serene ambience of Fort Saint-Jean and the breathtaking views from the summit are praised by visitors of all ages. They also mention how accessible it is, having ramps and elevators. It is connected to the Museum of European and Mediterranean Civilizations via a bridge and is located next to it. The Commandery of the Order of the Knights of St. John and the 15th century Tower of Gane I, King of Provence, are incorporated into the 17th century edifice. 9. Ballon des Oeufs. Ballon des Oeufs is like going back in time, with its lovely tangle of fishing boats and fishermen's homes crowded around the small harbor and framed by the arches of a stone brick bridge. The old port village of Marseille, located along the Cognes du Marcel, is a world away from the bustling city and provides a peaceful detour for anyone traveling along the coast route. Ballon des Oeufs, despite its small stature, punches well above its weight when it comes to gastronomy, with its handful of seaside eateries serving delectable fresh fish and seafood. The most famous dish is Provençal specialty bouillabaisse, which is served at top restaurants. 10. Freewill Islands. Freewill consists of 4 small islands located just off the coast of Marseille. The islands have served as a fortification, a jail, and a quarantine zone for those suspected of carrying the cholera disease throughout their lengthy history. Nowadays, tourists visit the islands to trek and see the famed Chateau d'If. If you're stuck in Marseille's city center and don't know what to do, I recommend setting sail for the Freewill Islands. Every day, sea shuttles leave from the old port for €10 round trip. It takes roughly 25 minutes to cross. The Freewill archipelago consists of 4 islands,